Hi everyone, welcome back to the Fireside Chat of Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons. We have been having some technical difficulties, but I hope our guest will be able to join us. This is the 10th series of the Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons Fireside Chat, and we have been having a great conversations with different prominent guests. So let me introduce you to our today's guest and one of the prominent members of Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons, Dr. Abraham Karickam, sir. I hope he can join us now.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, sir.
Yeah,
Can you hear me well?
sure.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, sir, for joining us today, and welcome to the Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons Fireside Chat Series 10. We have been having such wonderful conversations with many of our prominent members and prominent guests for the past nine series, including our founder, Bishop William Swing, our young leaders, our other active members of the cooperation circle, and today we have you as our guest and our short speaker for this, to share your ideas, your innovations, and your vision with regards to our cooperation circle and to the work that we have been doing for the past 10 years and the work that we hope to do in the coming years. So before we begin, I would like to, for our viewers, this is an introduction for the new folks who are joining us, who are tuning in. Glad to be with you today, and I would like to introduce our cooperation circle or our community called Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons. Voices is an interfaith and intercultural group advocating for nuclear abolition from an intergenerational, ethical, and faith-based perspective. Our leaders span from youth leaders to seasoned diplomats and politicians. We would like to invite you to fold and share these moments during our Fireside Chat Fridays as we talk about this issue and our role with different leaders and thinkers who are shaping and changing the nuclear abolition landscape. We invite you to ask questions and share comments as we go behind the scenes on their story and what they think is most important now. And this video will be available in our Instagram account, in our YouTube channel, and in our Facebook social media, Facebook as well, Facebook page as well. So thank you for tuning in today. And once again, I welcome today's guest, Dr. Abraham Karickam, sir, and a short bio would be, for introducing him. Dr. Abraham Karickam is a former principal of the Marthoma College, Tiruvalla, Kerala, where he worked for 28 years in the Department of English. He holds PhD in English and also in interreligious studies. Abraham has authored 15 books and edited a number of books and journals. His important works are the concept of salvation in the Upanishads, the Bible, and the Quran, and the interfaith novel called Super Souls Revisited. He also organizes the international conferences on holy books and the URI Traveling Peace Academy trainings at regular intervals in different parts of the world. He represents the Marthoma Church and URI in 3 general assemblies of the World Council of Churches. He has been a fellow traveler of the Taizé community, and he has been engaged with interfaith dialogue for more than 30 years now. At present, he is the coordinator of the URI South India Sri Lanka region and the Secretary General for the URI Asia region. He is also the founder of the 1 Billion Youth for Peace initiative and an active member of our Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons CC. A warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you for joining us today. So, without further ado, let's hear from you. And the first, discussion that I would like to open up is that if you could kindly share with us, briefly, the journey that you had with URI and Voices for the past 10, 20 years.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you for all the nice words spoken about me. Yes, this is a wonderful initiative, and I congratulate all of you for organizing such a series of talks to enlighten our younger ones and also our present day generation about the dangers of nuclear weapons. Yes, I have been traveling with the United Religions Initiative for the past 20 years and with the Voices for the World Free of Nuclear Weapons ever since its inception. So it has been a fantastic journey. So URI, of course, it is an interfaith journey which has which is an organization with roots in about 110 countries today. So I could see the growth from scratches, and now we started with only a few cooperation circles. Now we have more than 1,000 cooperation circles in different parts of the world. So it has been a great journey, and in the journey we had several milestones, like our traveling peace academy, voices, and 1 billion youth for peace, and holy books conferences, and so many milestones on the way. So 20 years is a long period, and I could see the growth from the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, sir. I believe the experience that you have had with URI is 20 years of growth is something that at present URI being in 112 countries with more than 1,000 cooperation circles is a vast area of network that we have created that has been and then that is a global family and a global community of peace builders all around the world. So, can you explain how you joined Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons Cooperation Circle? What was, what initiated this process, and what were the initial steps in joining and the work that you have been doing with Voices?
Yeah, so we had several cooperation circles in the multi-region, and this is also one of the CCs in the multi-region. And after 10 years of URI, so during the first phase, that is the first phase, 10 years of URI, we had several satellites, like one for environment, one for nuclear, studies, and another for peace building, like that, different satellites. And then we converted one of these satellites into a new cooperation circle, that is the Voices. So our president, Bishop William Swing, was instrumental for this also. And we had eminent personalities like George Shultz, the former State Secretary of United States, cabinet member with Ronald Reagan. And so the encouragement from such great people, and George Shultz was instrumental in nuclear disarmament and signing so many treaties with the Russian President Gorbachev. So Gorbachev also was a fellow traveler. And when Bishop Swing told me about this, I was so fascinated to join a movement with such eminent personalities. And we had some nuclear scientists also with that. It was only a very close group, about 10, 12 people in the beginning. But we used to have conversations, telephone conversations in the beginning, then Zoom meetings every month, regularly, for the past 10 years. And during this course of our meetings, we learned a lot about the imminent dangers faced by our world, the number of nuclear weapons, the type of danger that humanity is facing from all the 15,000 old nuclear bombs which we are having even today. So I had the privilege to visit Pentagon and to speak with the officers there with a group of young people while I was traveling with the These community. So there I had learned so much about the nuclear weapons and the arsenal, about the ICBMs, about the SLBMs, like that. So when Bishop Singh told me about this Voices for a Nuclear Free World, I was more than happy. And so every month we were discussing about all these, and we could conduct so many meetings also. For example, with the Accelerate Peace Conference, which we had in the Stanford University in 2019, and also just before that in the World Parliament of Religions in Toronto, we had a special meeting under the auspices of these Voices CC. So it has been a very, very exciting journey. Yeah.
Sure, sir. I believe, just hearing your words, inspires us that now myself and many youngsters now being part of the Voices community and the gatherings that we have, the monthly gatherings that we have, it's such a privilege and honor to be part of this, global network that is, doing work, very relevant work in the field of abolishment of nuclear weapons. May I ask you, what do you think was the, what would be the latest entry to the golden feathers of the work that Voices has been doing? And, if you could highlight one specific work or maybe a meeting, an event that the Voices did, which inspired, which you think made or is made a huge impact.
Yeah. Yeah, the most important meeting or incident that comes to my mind is the meeting at Stanford University, which I referred to just now. There, 100-year-old George Schutz was present. He was in a wheelchair, but he was, organizing such a beautiful conference. We had so many experts and nuclear scientists from this field, and that was an entry point for so many specialists in the field. Just like other world organizations also came to our fold, like Charter for Compassion, Religions for Peace, and World Parliament of Religions, of course. All the leaders assembled there. So there, the Voices got a very, the stature or the very nature changed with so many experts from different parts of the world. That was something great. And the most memorable incident was that we could produce a wonderful video. You also know, Isaac, you know that, with George Shultz and President Gorbachev, and so many other experts like Jonathan Granoff and so many, specialists in the field. That video was circulated, it was relayed all around the world through YouTube and all other channels. And after this meeting, the nuclear, Voices CC became a very prominent instrument, which is actually leading the world today, leading from the forefront in disarmament or in demilitarization of the world, in doing away with all the nuclear weapons like that. So many people are being attracted to our fold today. Actually, thousands are waiting for membership in this movement, and we don't know actually how to handle all these new members who show great interest to join this movement and to be fellow travelers in this movement. And we had people like Julie Schilling and, Carolyn and many others who are now leading the movement. And we have a great amount of publicity, and we have, Instagram and a Facebook page, and we have our website and everything. So this is gaining great momentum nowadays. And I hope in the near future, this nuclear and the Voices CC will be in the forefront of eradication of all forms of nuclear weapons. So I'm quite sure about that. Of course, with so many youngsters like Isaac and Haneen and, Sarah, Samira, and all great youngsters also taking ready to take the movement upon their shoulders. Very happy to see that.
Sure, sir, and we are always happy to join this moment and be with the elders, because this is an intergenerational perspective, an intergenerational platform that Voices has created, so that everyone is it is inclusive and everyone has their voice. Can express themselves with regards to this, topic of global destruction due to nuclear weapons. And, it is imminent and it can happen at any point. And that is, why we emphasize on the work that we do. So moving on, I would like to, if you could share with you, what do you think is the greatest challenge that we face when we come to the topic of nuclear weapons abolishment, and how do you think we as a community, as a network, can support each other in achieving our dream of a world free of nuclear weapons?
Yes, the greatest challenge is to influence the politicians who are actually holding all these weapons. Poor people are away from the stream, and we have 1/3 of the nuclear bombs and weapons on under the sea in the submarines. The control, of course, is with the politicians, and our great duty today is to reach them, to reach the parliamentarians. We have the mayors for peace. We have several organizations who are trying to influence them, but it is not an easy task. We have to change the philosophy of the world from the philosophy of destruction to the philosophy of growth and rejuvenation. They have somehow, the politicians have somehow a disfigured version or world view, because we are actually against the cosmic design. See, the philosophy of the cosmos is actually peaceful. It has the cosmic rhythm is that of a peaceful world. But this, the warmongering philosophers of the world, they don't understand this. They don't understand this is the nuclear philosophy is a philosophy against the design of the very cosmic rhythm. So to bring them back to the original design of the universe, the original design envisaged by the creator of the universe, that is the biggest challenge. It will take maybe it won't take too much a period as we did in the past, because now things are easy. Conscientization of the public is easy, enlightenment is easy, and also just like we have the 1 billion youth for peace movement, very easy to reach the young minds of the world. That is a global campaign, and we are going to the schools and colleges everywhere. So the generation of the younger generation of today or tomorrow, they will definitely be able to influence the politicians. They themselves will be able to come into the power positions, the higher positions in the world, so that they can steer our world away from such a great danger. So we have to lead the world to growth, to hope, and it's the very life destructing forces. These have to be eliminated so that life can spring beautifully. So now we are in the desert of weapons and nuclear bombs. There we have to see the sprouting of so many pastures and so many beautiful designs to change the very fabric of the world. So I think it is possible with the youngsters. That is what we are trying to do today.
Yes, sir. And I believe this is, a combined effort. And, we will, of course, we are doing everything in our reach, in our different regions. And when coming to the regions that we represent, we have folks from different countries especially the nuclear countries like the United States, Russia, and even India. And do you think this is an issue or a challenging issue with respect to your region, maybe South Asia or India, that we are from? So, do you think this is a challenging issue? Is the public aware of the concepts of nuclear weapons and the danger it poses?
Actually, the sad thing is that we are discussing all other issues in the world except nuclear danger today. That is a real problem because we are concerned with climate justice, environment, poverty and COVID situations, health, hygiene, everything, and forestation of the world, and so many things. But nowhere people are discussing about the dangers of the nuclear weapons. So we have enough bombs to destroy our world several times. Even an accident, can destroy our world. So this is a big problem, huge problem, but nobody is realizing, nobody is discussing that. But this was not the case in 1985 when United Nations were celebrating the International Peace Year for the first time. But I am confident that this is possible. Peace is possible because we had more than 80,000 nuclear weapons in the 80s. When Gorbachev and George Shultz and President Reagan and all of them, when they started discussing about the strategic arms limitation talks, like that, when they started disarmament movement, we had 80,000 or more nuclear weapons. But today, we have come to a level of 15,000 or less than 15,000. So we could eradicate a sizable amount of nuclear weapons, and it is possible, and that I'm sure that we can eradicate the rest of the weapons also. We can bring it to a zero level. That is what we want. Bring it to the zero level. We want to see a world without any nuclear weapons, so that our younger generation, our children today, tomorrow, they inherit a world, a peaceful world. So, but the sad plight is that, as you said, especially in the nuclear weapon states, there is not much discussion. This is only at the higher academic level. Only a few scientists and those who really understand the dangers, they come and talk. They discuss about all the. I don't think that there are serious talks at the higher level between presidents and prime ministers, about all these. We have to bring them back to the table and start discussing again about the total elimination of nuclear weapons. And of course, the 9 nuclear power nations, they have to come to a round table, start discussions again about total elimination. That is what we need.
Sure. So I totally believe that, and thinking of the present situation that the entire world faces, the amount that that is spent for nuclear weapons could have been used for many other reasons, and many other, including environment and medical, technology, etc. And just thinking of all these weapons in this world just sitting there that can be used at any time, really triggers that humane emotion within us, that we should stand against this and uplift all the voices that we can gather, and make sure that this is a global voice, and we avert this global crisis. Coming back to your contributions, you have written a book named The World of Nuclear Weapons, which literally explains everything with regards to nuclear weapons and the numbers, statistics, and your different experiences. So what inspired you to write such a book specifically with the title of Nuclear Weapons and its content, and the grassroots work that you have been doing?
Yeah, thank you. And I was a journalist before, so I worked for 2-3 newspapers before joining as a professor in the college. So It was during that time I visited Pentagon. I told you, when I understood about the expanse, the vast nature of the danger involved in the weapons, in the SLBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, etc. I was stunned. So from that day onwards, I was thinking about joining the campaign against this. So there was an incident which triggered my imagination and maybe my fascination to join this movement. When India, during the time of Indira Gandhi, that was in 1974, May 18, when we exploded the first nuclear device in the Rajasthan desert, Pokhran, I read in the newspaper a very interesting statement the next day, because the then Prime Minister of Pakistan, the Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, the father of our Benazir Bhutto, he made a statement when India exploded its nuclear device. Next day, he made a statement: even if we eat grass, we will make a nuclear weapon. See, that is a big statement, because a nation virtually has to eat grass in order to make a bomb. So this is where, as you said, the cost involved in production of such weapons. So in the beginning, we had only kiloton bombs. Now we have megaton bombs. So you imagine the cost of production of these megaton bombs, which is 1,000 times bigger than the kiloton bomb which exploded in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. See, if it killed 300,000 people in 3 days, the two small bombs, but the megaton bombs can kill millions and millions of people. And the amount, the expenditure, the nature of expenditure is huge, monstrous. That is a monstrosity which is upon the face of the earth. So the money, the real money which has go to the so many other fields of education, health, hygiene, climate, and all these things are being diverted dangerously, being diverted to the nuclear arsenals. For whom? What is the philosophy behind it? That is, the philosophy is to kill. See, we don't want leaders to kill millions and destroy the world, and what will remain? As Einstein said, we have to start again fighting with bows and arrows. But why can't they understand this? This is the problem. So, my hope is in the youngsters, and we are doing a lot with the youngsters, and of course that is why I wrote the book, the World of Nuclear Weapons, because when we go to schools and colleges, we wanted some materials to be handed over to the younger generation, because they don't understand the nature of all these dangers. So we have all statistics about all the weapons, the military expenditures of America, China, India, all the world. The budget, the military budget, everything, a lot of statistics we have given in this book, and that is a very good study material especially for the beginners. It is not a voluminous, deep study on the thing, but for the beginners, this will be very useful, and we give it free of cost to all the younger generations. We have printed thousands of copies of this book, and only with the only intention to educate youngsters and to give them a clear picture of what kind of a world they are living in, what they have inherited from their parents, from the leaders of yesterdays, what they have inherited. They have to understand this, and then they have to work for peace.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe, quoting what you said, the thing is that we say that a bomb exploding kills millions and thousands. At the same time, when we think just, developing of these bombs, or like keeping them as it is, and the advancement happening, kills more than the actual explosion. So that's something that everyone has to think of. The world leaders should think of. And coming back to education, the materials available on this topic is very rare, but like your literature and the Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons is coming up with such brilliant education curriculums for young adults, for children, and once these are out, I believe it will make a huge difference. So we are coming close, cutting short to our time. So finally, I would like to before ending, I would like to ask you, what is your one teaching or prayer or wish that you would like to share with us, while concluding this fireside chat, for us youngsters, for everyone who is seeing this now and who will see this in the future, your prayer, wish, or teaching that you can leave us with.
Yeah, my wish and my prayer is for enlightenment of the political leaders and also all the thinkers, all the scientists of the world. I pray the Almighty to give them ample reasoning power, just to understand the great dangers involved in this, and to lead the whole generation to a peaceful journey towards the realization of the kingdom of God. Because I believe that that is our ultimate goal, to see that our world is transformed into a Ramarajya, or a heaven, or a God's kingdom. That is the ultimate aim, objective of all peace lovers, to transform our world. So my prayer is that all the stakeholders realize this, and they get enlightenment so that they become peace lovers and lead our world to a peaceful journey. That is my prayer.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Abraham, sir, for being with us for more than 30 minutes, and we have discussed our very important and such relevant issues with regards to the work that the Voices for a World Free of Nuclear Weapons Cooperation Circle is doing, and your own contributions to this field. Like all the other guests that has joined, we have had wonderful conversations, and I feel that whoever sees this now and in the future will always feel inspired to give themselves and share their voice for a world free of nuclear weapons. And before concluding, I would like to mention that you can see the discussions that we have had and all the other 9 Fireside Chat series in our Instagram account. Follow us on Instagram, Nuclear Prayer Voices, and we have our Twitter handle, Voices Nuclear. You can see the videos and all the discussions and relevant activities and work that the group do in our social media, in Facebook, Voices for World Free of Nuclear Weapons, and all these videos will be available in our YouTube channel, Voices. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone who have tuning in with us. It has been such a graceful and blessed discussion, and we hope whatever we have discussed inspires many, and finally we achieve what our past generations inspired or aspired to create, a world free of nuclear weapons. So signing off from the Fireside Chat, this is Dr. Abraham Karickam, sir, and Isaac. So see you on the next Fireside Chat, and thank you everyone. Bye. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.